Hello, welcome to Recapping with Delora
and Ashley.
Please follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Recapping Podcast.
Also, comment, rate, and subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. We're on all the things.
We would love to hear your ratings of the movies and shows we review.
Email us your audio file to recappingpodcast@gmail.com and we will play it during the show.
Or DM us on Instagram and we will post and read it on air.
Thank you guys so much for listening.
Thank you. Ashley.
Hi, Delora. How are you today?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good, girl. I'm back in sunny Florida. I'm living it up. I'm soaking it up.
You got the black girl fall wintertime press, I see.
Yeah.
How's that going?
My one straightening of the year. I'm keeping it together at the moment. Thankfully, the humidity here has been kind, but we'll be getting it, back to a natural or probably twisted style here soon. My hair can only take so much. Yeah. And then you have to give it love and attention. It's like, can I go out? What is the percentage of humidity today? So it's a lot.
I haven't had to think that hard about my hair in a minute. So good luck.
Exactly. But it's always nice to switch it up. As Black women, that's one thing we love is the versatility of our hair. So
I tell my daughter all the time, curly hair is magical. It defies gravity.
There we go, baby. There we go. Always been my favorite texture personally.
Exactly. So Ashley, I'm super excited. We actually got some comments that I want to highlight specifically on our Facebook page.
All right.
I would like to shout out Touchdown WT for leaving us a wonderful comment under our Black Widow podcast, as well as your comments on our flashback of Hocus Pocus from last month. You have here for the Hocus Pocus one. Love this movie as a kid. I feel like Disney had a spell on all of us with every movie. Great recap. And now Deetria, love for scary movie makes more sense. Delora, y'all didn't go trick-or-treating. And then there's cry face emojis. So that had me rolling. And but yeah. Thank you so much, Touchdown WT. Welcome to Recap Nation.
Absolutely. Thank you. I'm so sorry that I don't be on Facebook like that. I promise you, I will respond and appreciate every comment that we ever receive, guys. Keep them coming.
Keep them coming. And feel free to rate us on Apple Podcasts so people can find our podcast, y'all. So let's go ahead and get into our quick headlines. We're going to go ahead and start off on a somber note. Rest in power, Virgil Abloh. I'm looking here at the New York Times article, the obituary section. It says, Virgil Abloh, path-blazing designer, is dead at 41. He's had a phenomenal career, Ashley. Breaking barriers at a traditional luxury house like Louis Vuitton. He had his own brand Off-White, where he was able to make such a statement in the fashion industry. He died from a rare form of heart cancer. He fought his battle with cancer privately. And I have to say, when I saw this news, it was hard to take, Ashley. What did you think when you heard this news?
I thought of Chadwick Boseman, which I'm sure a lot of people did, because it was yet another, prominent Black man who unfortunately was taken way too soon by cancer, and very unexpectedly, because again, he never made his struggle public. So, tragic. I was familiar with the name. I wasn't familiar with everything he had done. So his passing caused me to go back and kind of look at more of his work and some of his additional collaborations that I wasn't as familiar with. So, I think the body of work he created and the legacy he created was outstanding, and hopefully will continue to stand the test of time. But man, cancer sucks, Delora.
Ashley, I followed him. So I was gutted when I saw this news. Like, I've been following him since he, was hanging out with Kanye and his aspirations for fashion, and the most notable collaboration he had with Nike, specifically with Serena Williams, that iconic dress she wore at the US Open. I remember his work, his first runway show with Louis Vuitton back in 2018, was such a big deal. So I just wanted to give him some time today on the podcast. His legacy will live on. I strongly believe that. Actually, by the request of his family, he had a collaboration with Mercedes-Benz. The project was called the Project Maybach, and it was released today. All of the concept images, very out there. You know how fashion is art at the end of the day.
It's greater than art because you live your life in it. Devil wears Prada, people.
But that's what makes him so unique and powerful, is he brought quote unquote streetwear to
and
luxury
I love streetwear so much. But it for me, again, I knew more about the fashion with clothing side than I did about, he designed some album covers and he was a DJ and he did I'm like, okay, you had your hands in a lot of things, sir. Got
it. And that's what I wanted to also highlight. Someone said this on social media. He left empty. And I felt like that was extremely inspirational, that he literally did whatever he wanted to do and he did it to the best of his ability. And because of that, his legacy will live on.
I also saw a quote where he said, listen, life is short. So he really always put 100% into every moment and at the time he had. So, even Carla said that, which I love, during our interview that we did with her about every day that I open my eyes and, see the world is a great day. And I think it, that's a mindset that I aspire to for sure, because I want to take advantage of every 24 hours because nothing is promised. So
this is the gift.
Yes.
Us being here right now in the present is the gift.
Amen. Hallelujah. Guys, y'all don't know, me and Delora pray before every single podcast. So that was just an extra part on that prayer right now.
Girl. And I do want to highlight this quote before we move on to our next quick headline. I'm paraphrasing, but he talked about he wants to make his 17-year-old self proud. And that really meant a lot for me, because I feel like I'm at a point of my career is like, all right, Delora, what did little Delora want out of your life? You know,
girl, aren't we both getting to that point? Those dreams deferred sometimes, and you realize you're the only person that's stopping you from continuing to reach for those dreams that you had. So, amen, hallelujah. That's all I got.
Prayers and peace to his family during this really difficult time. All right, Ashley, I'm gonna switch it up just a bit. Looking at Essence here, the headline says, Tiffany Haddish and Common reportedly called it quits, their relationship timeline. So after meeting in 2019, the two began dating last year and couldn't stop gushing over one another. Now it seems they may have gone their separate ways. Ashley, they were the most popular quarantine couple. How about they did a Bumble commercial, and then before you knew it, they were dating.
That's
last
news.
year.
That's news to me that they were the most popular quarantine couple.
This is my interpretation.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But I'm just saying, they're saying that the part of the reason why they're breaking up is because their schedules are too hectic. So I'm saying ideally quarantine couple, because everybody had the time last year.
There you go.
We may not have the time now.
There you go.
Like we might not be able to make it. So were you surprised by this news?
I can't say I was surprised because I guess they were always a little bit of an odd couple from the jump. And part of me always felt it was too public, probably to last and sustain. Like, it's not like it's a marriage, right? Where, we locked in now, so we can put our business out there a little bit more. We're still in the dating phase. And I just felt like we got maybe a lot more information than at least Common was probably always wanting to share. Like, every interview he did, every interview she did, that's the question. That's what's being asked. That's what's being talked about. And so it wasn't surprising. I mean, but we always root and hope that couples last. It seems like it's for the best, because there are some that are toxic, that should not. Girl. Kim, run. But they didn't surprise me with this, but I definitely will say that, wishing them both nothing but peace, love, and happiness as they move forward.
So Ashley, two things. One, it's Common. Common is a serial dater. Most notably, let's go down his list really quick, okay? He famously dated Erykah Badu from 2000 to 2002. Mm-hmm. Serena Williams. Mm-hmm. Again, she's all up and through these today's podcast. From 2017 to 2010. They were together for a minute. I thought I remember them being together, but wow. And then Angela Rye from 2017 to 2019. That's the one
I thought was a good match. Yeah. I thought him and Ange were like solidified.
I did too.
I was like, it's not just the physical, it was the mental. I was like, ooh, I bet they got such stimulating conversations.
Exactly. And then, like, after that breakup, she out here talking about finding herself and healing. I'm like, hopefully she's okay.
I love her friendship with Debbie. If you guys have not listened to Debbie Brown's podcast, their interviews together are amazing.
Yes. But I didn't think this relationship was going to last. I didn't appreciate every time she did an interview, she was talking about her relationship because it just never felt exciting. Like, it never felt like, oh yeah, you two are so cute together. Never felt that.
Again, Tiffany runs her mouth a lot in general. Remember the whole Beyonce situation? Like, Tiffany,
NDA.
I would definitely change some of your decisions when it comes to media relations. But again, do you, Tiff? I don't want to change you.
I felt like Tiffany Haddish had more chemistry with Trevor Noah than she did with Common.
Well, also she's about to have her first sex scene coming up, which she was quite excited for.
Excited for with Oscar. Yes, ma'am. So, they'll be fine. They both are going to do great things in the entertainment industry, and I just hope they're able to find love. All right, Ashley, let's go ahead and go to our next quick headline. Rihanna's officially excellent named Barbados hero. This is from the AP News. Like, that was a weird headline. But anyway, Barbados is a republic, Ashley. First and foremost, that is the news. They are no longer under Queen Elizabeth. They are independent, and they have a new prime minister, the Honorable Minister Mia Mottley. And during this historic ceremony, our girl Riri was named the National Hero of Barbados, Ambassador Robin Rihanna Fenty. And it was so sweet because in the presentation, the Prime Minister said, "May you continue to shine like a diamond and bring honor to our nation by your words, by your actions, and to do credit wherever you shall go. God bless you, my dear." It was very sweet and touching. Were you proud of our girl Riri?
Absolutely. I mean, I love Rihanna. So when I saw this, though, I have a friend who's from Barbados, so I sent it to him just to see what the reaction was like from the motherland. And he was just mentioning that I guess there was some chatter, and shout out, he's a friend of the pod, by the way. Raymond was good. There's some chatter about her dress and the fact that she, had the nips out in the dress situation
and all the back.
Yeah, and that Barbados is conservative, which I didn't realize. I was like, well, if they didn't like that dress, they must not like 99.99% of what she wears. You know what I'm saying?
They're conservative because they have Carnival, and I mean,
well,
the things are out.
They are a conservative people, according to my Barbadian friend. But what's funny is I said, well, listen, if y'all don't want her, Black Americans will take her. And he was like, no, she's ours. She's ours. So I love that conversation. But absolutely, I love Rihanna. I'm always proud of Rihanna. Rihanna has always stayed true to her roots and who she is as far as I've seen her. So
always
do your thing, Riri. She said in her speech that this meant more to her than any award she's ever received. So when Rihanna's happy, I'm happy.
Absolutely. Friend of the pod, of course, Rihanna. So, so proud of you. All right. So let's go ahead and go into our hot topics. All right. So Ashley, a lot has happened. We took a break courtesy of the Thanksgiving holiday, but we are back. While we were gone, though, there was the American Music Awards hosted by the one and only Cardi B. There were a lot of performances, a lot of awards given. Artist of the Year was given to BTS. New Artist of the Year was given to Olivia Rodrigo. And Doja Cat and SZA won for their song under the collaboration of the year for Kiss Me More, which is a banger. Okay. Some performances included Chloe Bailey with another iteration of Lord Have Mercy, as well as Ed Sheeran, Olivia Rodrigo, Tyler, the Creator. We had Carrie Underwood and Jason Aldean. We had the epic battle between New Kids on the Block and New Edition, which
was that a battle?
Was that truly a battle? That is the question.
I'm gonna say strong no. From the music to the choreography to the wardrobe, that's a strong no.
So Ashley, what did you think about this year's awards?
Snooze. I did not watch them live. I caught them later, but I only watched for Chloe, for Silk Sonic, and then for New Edition. So glad I got those performances in. I mean, it was basically a BTS love fest.
Girl, it's like, are they on payroll? Because and
I'm happy to see an international group get so embraced and so beloved. I mean, we're past kind of our boy band era. You know what I mean? I am. I definitely am. I'm way past it. I'm like, okay, little boys, okay. But
teasing. You mean to tell me if Boyz II Men were to come out, you wouldn't?
But are they a boy band? See, those were grown men. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like even New Edition. When I look at New Edition, I'm like, to me, y'all were never, even though y'all started as children,
they look like uncles.
Boy band.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? And I literally said to my brother, I said, Ralph Tresvant is starting to look like my Uncle Tony. Like legit. and Ralph was my man back in the day. But no, I mean, for me, it's not my favorite award show whatsoever because it just doesn't really cater to my taste, right? I'm an R&B lover to the core. I want to hear a lot more BET style, Soul Train Award style musical performances than the AMAs are going to deliver for me. Cardi, I love seeing her out there doing her thing as the host. She was very cute, but otherwise, this is an award show that, I probably could have skipped. How about you?
Yeah, so I watched it for Chloe's performance. I was curious because obviously her doing her inaugural performance at the MTV Music Awards was so intense. I'm like, did she get the notes? And she did. And she did. I'm like, yes, this control, finesse. I'm here for it.
That thing still be thanging, but
oh, it sure does. But it's so funny because, we're always engulfed in the pop culture. We saw the music video, we've seen the numerous performances, but it was so funny because David had never seen her perform, and he was like, Beyonce much? And I'm like, oh, that's all you see? He was like, yeah. And I was like, well, that's her mentor. But I at least try to give her the benefit of the doubt because I am such a Chloe and Halle fan. But I'm like, just because you're pretty in pictures and dresses doesn't mean it's like Beyonce didn't do everything. I'm teasing.
I mean, the Beyonce comparison is inevitable, obviously, because she's a protege. But also, I mean, she's at the very beginning of her solo career. So I give her grace in that. I think everybody is heavily influenced at the very beginning before they may kind of find their own style. Because her and Halle have a totally different style than she's
aesthetic.
Coming with her own personal solo album. So
I will say it is time for another single. So
already, you know what it is? It's these internets that get us so burnt out so quickly because people used to write a single for a good 7 months back in the day.
You think so?
Oh yeah, people's singles used to live way longer than they do now. Because think about how long we used to watch videos on the countdown shows like TRL and 106 and stuff. Like those singles used to be out forever.
That's true. That's true.
It's gonna be me. Bye, bye, bye. Come on and sync. I used to. Gone was appointment television for me one summer, like every day.
Abso-freaking-lutely, Ashley. Abso-freaking-lutely.
Because guys, we talked about boy bands, and that was my boy band obsession. That's why I'm bringing up NSYNC.
All right. So speaking of music awards, we have the Grammys. The nominations for the 2022 ceremony came out, and there's a lot to be said about it. But more recently, like as of today, the host is none other Trevor Noah, who will be returning. He did such a great job last year. They're giving him another opportunity. Do you miss LL Cool J, Ashley?
Until you said that, I didn't even remember that was a thing. We were just watching In the House at the
Where?
So it's on HBO Max. We were watching it during Thanksgiving holiday. Yes. So I am like rejuvenated on some LL Cool J. And
that
Debbie
was
Allen,
my show.
Debbie Allen was so freaking funny.
She's everything, Ashley. Like, why are we surprised? She does everything. She's a dancer.
I just didn't remember.
Actress,
like, it's been so long. I don't even know how many people watch, because I remember more the later seasons of the show than I do those first two seasons.
I remember the later seasons too, because we had our boy Carlton. Of course, I know his
name, Kim Wayans. Yeah, yes. Like and the daughter. Like, I definitely remember her daughter, but I don't remember her and the little son. And they were hilarious. So yeah, In the House on HBO Max for all y'all who want to go back and watch that. Yeah, my brother put me and my mom on that it was there. So my mom, she was like every day, like turning it back on and binging some episodes. So yeah,
that is amazing background television that I probably will just have on.
You should.
Nostalgia.
But yeah, I wouldn't mind having LL Cool J come back. But Trevor Noah is a whole vibe. So I love Trevor.
I do too. I'm a huge fan for sure. All right. So looking at CNN, they have Grammy nominations. They say that John Baptiste, the band leader from the Late Night Show, led among all nominees with 11 nominations.
Yeah.
That's like major. It also says here the chart toppers: Justin Bieber, her, Doja Cat, Billie Eilish, and Olivia Rodrigo all follow closely with multiple nominations. So let's go ahead and look at the top 4 categories. Record of the year, we have I Still Have Faith in You by ABBA. We have Freedom, John Baptiste. I Get a Kick Out of You, Tony Bennett and Lady Gaga. Peaches, Justin Bieber featuring Daniel Caesar and Giveon. Right on Time by Brandy Carly. Kiss Me More, Doja Cat featuring SZA. Happier Than Ever, Billie Eilish. Montero, Call Me By Your Name, Lil Nas X. Driver's License, Olivia Rodrigo. And Leave the Door Open, Silk Sonic. Record of the year. Any predictions?
I'm giving it to Silk Sonic, but I'm biased.
You know what? This one's a hard one, and I'm very impressed with this category. You know what I mean? Kiss Me More is it Bob. Love, Happier Than Ever by Billie Eilish. You know, Lil Nas X album was one of my hidden gems, which obviously wasn't really hitting, but I was so proud of him.
There is one Billie Eilish song I'm obsessed with that I've listened to repeatedly.
Not Bad Guy.
No, it's My Future. That's a song that I obsessively listen to over and over again. Is this off her
latest album?
Yeah, this is off of Happier Than Ever.
Yeah. My other favorite one is something like If I Got Everything I Wanted. It became a single later, but I loved it before it got popular.
I think I fell in love with that song because of her recorded concert performance, you know, the Love Letter to LA performance. Yeah.
On Disney?
Yeah.
Or was that Amazon?
I think it was Disney Plus. I think. Don't quote
me,
guys.
She had both. She had one on something on Amazon and something on Disney at one point.
Don't quote me, but it's on one of those streaming services.
All right, Ashley. Song of the year, Bad Habits, Ed Sheeran. A Beautiful Noise, Alicia Keys featuring Brandy Carly. Driver's License, Olivia Rodrigo. Fight for You, Her, Happier Than Ever, Billie Eilish. Kiss Me More, Doja Cat featuring SZA. Leave the Door Open, Silk Sonic. Montero, Call Me By Your Name, Lil Nas X. Peaches, Justin Bieber featuring Daniel Caesar and Giveon. And Right on Time by Brandy Carly. Am I saying her name wrong? Right or wrong? I don't know. You know, sometimes when I have difficulties with pronouncing names, it's because I haven't heard them.
Exactly. We do our best.
I really do try to look up stuff. And I'm like, I love it when I actually can find the person to say their name. But depending on like if they're famous or not, that can be quite difficult.
And we don't do like intros and videos the way that people used to. A lot of people just launch into whatever interview it is that they're doing on like YouTube and stuff. But you know, I'm her all day in this category. That my girl, I want my girl to be an EGOT, the youngest ever EGOT. That would be amazing.
Ooh. Yeah, I actually don't have any favorites. I think everyone in this category is looking pretty good. All right, album of the year. We are John Baptiste, Love for Sale, Tony Bennett and Lady Gaga, Justice, Triple Chucks Deluxe, Justin Bieber, Planet Her Deluxe, Doja Cat. What are my hidden gems? Happier Than Ever, Billie Eilish. Back of My Mind, Her, Montero, Lil Nas X, Sour, Olivia Rodrigo, Evermore, Taylor Swift, Donda, Kanye West. Ashley, I was surprised to see this on the list.
Was he not a late entry?
He probably was.
I heard he was.
The cutoff is usually October.
Yeah, I thought he was a later edition. And
for people who don't understand, Adele is not going to be on this year's Grammy. She's going to be in next year because the deadline is usually sometime in the fall. So just FYI on that.
Thank you for that, Delora. I knew that, but not everybody knows.
Not everybody knows that.
Deadlines. A lot of people are like, why is this just now being nominated a year later? You know, well, because I didn't release my album in time. The only thing I was going to say, because you mentioned Doja Cat again, we didn't talk about for the AMAs, the controversy. Did you feel some type of way about Doja winning Best R&B?
Well, yeah. I actually don't have enough emotions for this to really matter, but I don't think she's R&B. No, I think she's either hip hop and or pop. Yeah, I really do think that. I think it's interesting though that we're having these conversations because more than ever, artists are able to bob and weave between genres. I mean, Little Nas X is a prime example, as well as Doja Cat, but specifically talking about Montero, he did everything from, obviously hip hop to a little emo situation, like little rock. And I was just like, he was really doing all the things. And he has a song with freaking Elton John. Like he covered, the entire board of, genres to an extent. So I don't even know what that's categorized as. I'm sure they'll probably just put him in hip hop because he's a black man, but still,
I think the only reason why, to me, it made sense that she was in the category, not that she won, but that she was in the category, is because, again, it's the AMAs. To me, she has a more palatable, poppy form if someone was to consider her to be releasing any tracks that were R&B. It's more palatable R&B than Jasmine Sullivan and her.
She's going to go down.
I'm telling you, like, the vocal acrobatics, like, come stop this nonsense, people. But Please. Again, I'm an R&B lover, so I be getting offended. But okay, if y'all felt like she deserved that award, I guess do y'all. But I just had to ask real quick. Moving on, sorry.
Yeah, no problem. And the last of the big four categories, Best New Artist. Hold on to your seats, people, because this first name is, I don't know, is Aruja Aftab, Jimmy Allen,
Jimmy
Dancing with the Stars,
yes,
Baby Kim, Phineas, Glass Animals, Japanese Breakfast, The Kid L'Oreal, Arlo Parks, Olivia Rodrigo, and Saweetie. That was a surprise. I mean, I don't mind Sweetie. I feel like Sweetie is Sweetie. You know what I mean? Like, I don't expect much out of her, but I didn't expect Best New Artist. I mean, she's no Meg the Stallion, but okay.
I have nothing to say. I have nothing to add. I have nothing.
All right, so that's the end of our hot topics. Good luck to everybody. I will probably be watching the Grammys next year. It usually happens in February or March. I don't remember the date now. Let's see. Oh, it will take place actually January 31st next year on CBS. Okay. So let's get to our microdose. Insecure. We are going to microdose 2 episodes. The first, episode 5, Surviving. Okay. And episode 6, Tired. Okay.
So
that's
animated.
How I imagine she says it. I just imagine she says it like that. Episode 5, a family emergency finds Molly stretched thin. Issa and her new man grow closer than ever. Ashley, how did you feel about this episode? I feel like this episode was really significant because, as we mentioned before, Insecure represents the millennial generation when it comes to our love life and family and friends. And we are the generation who are having aging parents, and we're having kids later and all these things. This is a real episode, Ashley. What did you think?
Well, first of all, I hadn't had a Molly sex scene in a long time. And it's always a little shocking for me to start. I was like, whoa, what's happening? I forgot Molly used to get down in the series. They had been taking it easy on her there for a little bit.
She's busy. What is it? Relax, release. What was it?
Relax, release, renew. Something like that.
Oh, I'm sorry. Different world. But yeah, she was on her, yoga tip, right?
Yeah, she was trying to find herself and find the best version of Molly. But no, I mean, the episode in general in tone was obviously different and heavier because we hadn't really seen a lot besides, the Nathan mental illness storyline. It's not usually really deep what we get into with Insecure. So, to see Molly of all people go through this, who we've seen glimpses of her family here and there, but she's close to her family, and this is your mother, the matriarch of the family is going through it. It was tough. I thought it said a lot about Molly, about how she handled the balance of everything and wanting to be put on her mother as an emergency contact at the hospital, and then not disclosing anything at work and just kind of taking it on her shoulders. I said, well, isn't that a typical Black woman there? You know?
Exactly.
Trying to shoulder it all and kind of stifle what you may be going through emotionally to kind of get through this situation. Now the Issa and Nathan love progression was also very interesting. Lord, we got a whole I love you that was not reciprocated. So
girl, I'm sick of them in Flavor Flav. I needed them to have a pep in their step, them lazily walking around. Flavor Flav, where he at? Girl, as a pet owner, I was livid.
You were like, I'm like, y'all better never do this to Charlie. Y'all would never.
Girl.
Well, she even was about to not care about the dog. He was like, don't you need to feed the dog? Oh, yeah, he'll be all right. He's a house dog. He knows what to do. So she was negligent in general. But I forgot that she is a good friend in the sense of like, girl, let me take the clothes off your back and give you mine.
Yeah, I was gonna say that next too. Outside of her disrespect of animals, specifically dogs, because I don't care about cats.
The shade. And I say cats are the Black people of house pets, if you didn't know that, because they're not loved. They don't get enough love.
I was very impressed with Issa this episode. Like when she, like you said, changed the clothes off her back and she walked up to her and said, what do you need? Like that was very impressive because, you know, they're all selfish to a degree, especially interacting with one another. Obviously, Molly didn't show that with her family, but I'm concerned, Ashley, is someone going to die? Because there's something going on. Starting with Kelly being dead at the college reunion, but not really, obviously. There was something else that happened.
Connect these dots, Delora. Connect these dots. There may be death on the horizon.
There was something else that was significant that happened before this particular episode. And obviously this one being the most obvious, with her mom having a freaking stroke and she didn't even wake up until episode 6
and still can't speak.
So sad. But yeah, Issa originally told Nathan, I want to bring this up before we get to episode 6, that she wanted to take it slow, but then as you mentioned, by the end of the episode we get an I love you. Episode 6. A distracted Issa mulls over difficult choices in both work and love, while Molly finds a comforting audience in an unlikely source. Issa's still not over the fact that Nathan didn't say I love you.
That was awkward AF.
That sex scene was so funny. She's like, do you love this? Do you love
I did not need to be a part of that. I was like, why is this on camera right now? I feel uncomfortable. And then I was watching with my mom. Why do y'all have to do this to me?
Ooh, I'm sorry.
I know.
But I'm just not into Nathan 2.0. Like, I want sparks. I'm not getting any of it. I just feel like this is recycling. I mean, maybe, I don't know. I was not impressed with it. But Molly acting a doggone fool at that retreat with a bunch of lawyers. I mean, I know they're Black, but professionalism. I mean, we all know what she was
embarrassed. Yeah, she was embarrassed too, but she had to let loose. She had to let her hair down just a little bit, I guess.
And why did she put that freaking phone away during her presentation? Like, just put it in your bag. Or say I can't do it.
It was frustrating because, again, that was a moment where had she spoken up and told her partner who was presenting with her what was going on, he would have been more aware that there could have been distractions, right? But them, that was a surprise for me.
I like that. See, that I can get excited about. Like this.
Well, it was cute when they had the conversation later, and I love how they even talked about it on the wind down where she was talking about a mug. He was like, I like mugs. And they just talked about the fact that like it's so realistic in the fact that when a guy really likes a girl, he just wants to keep the conversation going. And I was like, no, that was really cute. Those are the moments in like television writing that I love because it's so realistic. Like, yeah, that was awkward, but he was adorable. I like mugs. Love it.
You know that saying, interested men act interested, right? Like
they say if he doesn't really like you, you'll feel confused. So there you go.
Gracious. Yeah. So anything else about our microdose of Insecure episodes 5 and 6?
I'm starting to be on your same team that if Issa ends up, just rolling solo at the end of this whole thing, I won't mind it at all because her and Nathan, the communication issues are a little frustrating for me. And the shutdown once there is a problem bothered me. And then you got the whole, her encountering, the whole Condola Lawrence baby situation in the hospital.
That dream sequence freaked me the F out.
I know, because at first I was like, sis, you better than me. And then I was like, is this real?
Picking up the baby? My mouth was on the floor. I was like, no.
Yeah, do you want to hold him? No, I don't want to hold your love child.
But then I also want to bring this up before we move on. What goes on through our minds about people's situations that we have no idea about, right? Like she imagining Condola having such control over Lawrence. Like, I got him to move back to California and here's my ring and how wonderful our life is. And it's like, sis, if you only knew.
Yeah, it could not be further from the truth. That's why you create your own reality, right? Like everyone is living in whatever reality they create with their own mind and thoughts. So
it's so powerful.
It is so powerful.
We neglect how powerful our minds are. And that's why, I always talk about the 4 Agreements. It's one of my favorite books, but one of them is, don't concern yourself with what other people are thinking because you'll never figure out what they're doing. Like, so just people react to you based on how they feel. It is not a true reflection of who you are. It's important to know who you are, though. I'm paraphrasing, but still, it's so true.
The last thing
I did like that. I did like that saying when she did punch Condola in the trash. He screamed back at her, "Own your choices," and I'm like, "There you go, own your choices." That's very powerful too.
The last thing I was going to ask you about was, did you feel that Crenshaw made any good points when she went to talk to him about his impact on her business?
No, okay. I am not on his side. I don't think Issa sold him out. I think she was trying to make an opportunity still relevant because they could have just pulled out altogether and they didn't. I don't think it's unreasonable to make concessions, but artists are very strong-willed, opinionated people, but if you want the money, sometimes you got to play the game. That's how I feel. What about you?
I literally said while I was watching, I said, it'd be your own. Like, you see her trying to do her thing. You see her out here trying to be successful. She's coming to you trying to have a conversation. Why are we so hard on each other? Like, it really bothered me. And again, I told you before, I was worried that this was going to come back and be an issue. And because she works so locally within the community, her own community, she's trying to help. It be your
Nobody
own.
had this organization. She thought it up. She worked it out. Built it up to where it is that she has real corporate sponsors.
Yeah, I was very frustrated. I was like, Ralph Angel, how dare you? Because again, he's still Ralph Angel to me.
Stupid mistakes. Goodness gracious.
It was very frustrating for me. But we'll see what happens. He better not mess up Issa's business.
We're right in the smack dab middle of the season, Ashley. So I think we have 4 or 5 more episodes left, I think.
Yeah, we have, I think 10 total. So we got 7, 8, 9, 10, baby. I'm so sad.
Me too. So definitely look forward to watching the rest of this season. So if there's nothing else, thank you all for listening to Recapping with Delora and Ashley. Ashley, what are we recapping on Thursday?
Girl, we are recapping King Richard, available in theaters and currently on HBO Max. If you haven't seen it, be sure to check it out before you tune into the recap, and we'll see you next time.
You have until the 19th on HBO Max, by the way. So thank you so much. Bye.